Welcome back to Valuable Coins, where today we're diving into some of the most sought after coins that could potentially make you a millionaire. From Sacagawea and Anthony dollars to the iconic Morgan dollars and rare nickels, these coins are not just pieces of history. They are investment opportunities. Stick around to find out which ones are worth huge money in today's market. Next up, the Sacagawea $1 coin was first released in 2000 as part of an effort to reintroduce the $1 coin to the public after the Susan B. Anthony dollar's failure to catch on. The Sacagawea dollar was designed to honor Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a pivotal role in the Lewis and Clark expedition. The coin was meant to symbolize both the contribution of Native Americans to U.S. history and the expansion of the nation across the American continent. The coin's release was part of the U.S. Mint's broader strategy to provide a more user-friendly and durable alternative to paper currency. Though the Sacagawea dollar never achieved wide circulation or popularity, it holds significant value for collectors, particularly those with errors or specific minting anomalies. On the obverse of the Sacagawea dollar is a portrait of Sacagawea herself, created by artist Glenna Goodacre. Sacagawea is depicted carrying her infant son on her back, symbolizing the strength and resilience of Native American women. This design was meant to honor her as a key figure in American history. The reverse side of the coin features an image of an eagle in flight, surrounded by 17 stars to represent the 17 states in the U.S. At the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition, the eagle is soaring with an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, a representation of peace and strength. The first year of mintage for the Sacagawea $1 coin was 2000, and the coin quickly became a favorite among collectors due to its design and historical significance. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar was minted at both the Philadelphia Mint P and the Denver Mint D, and while most circulated coins are relatively common, there are a few that stand out due to their unique features and imperfections. Coins that are found in dirty condition often experience a drop in value because they are harder to grade. Dirt and grime can obscure important details, leading to a lower grade and, therefore, a lower auction value. However, certain collectors still value these coins for their historical significance and potential rarity, especially if the coin has been in circulation for many years. While a typical Sacagawea $1 coin in decent condition may only be worth a few dollars, the 2000 Sacagawea with a P mint mark in dirty condition can still fetch a reasonable amount. The value will depend largely on the degree of the condition, but it could range from $234,000 in auction markets. For a collector willing to clean the coin, or if it's graded at a higher condition later on, the value could increase further. While collectors generally prefer coins in pristine condition, dirty Sacagawea dollars can still attract interest due to their historical and unique appeal. Some collectors focus on completing specific years, mints, or types of coins, and a dirty coin is often a rarity in their collection if it is one of the few found in that condition. Moreover, with fewer of these coins circulating in good shape, collectors can sometimes find these coins in uncirculated bags or rolls, which could increase their value over time. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint PP, remains a part of an ongoing effort by the U.S. Mint to celebrate national history through coinage. First up, the Susan B. Anthony $1 coin was first issued by the United States Mint in 1979, marking a significant moment in American coinage. This coin was introduced to replace the silver certificates and paper dollar bills that had been in circulation for many years. The main goal of the coin was to reduce the production cost of paper money and to provide a durable, long-lasting alternative to banknotes. The coin was named after Susan B. Anthony, a prominent leader in the women's suffrage movement. However, the Susan B. Anthony dollar wasn't without its controversies. Upon its release, many people confused it with the quarter due to its similar size and color, leading to confusion and general disinterest in the coin. Despite these challenges, the coin has become a piece of history and has earned a place in collectors' hearts. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony coin features a distinctive design. On the obverse side, it shows a portrait of Susan B. Anthony herself, designed by artist Frank Gasparo. This design was intended to capture the determined spirit of Anthony, who played a vital role in advocating for women's rights. The reverse of the coin displays a depiction of an eagle in flight, clutching an olive branch and arrows. This design was taken from the Apollo 11 mission patch, symbolizing peace and the American ideals of freedom. The 1979 coin also marked a significant change in U.S. coinage in terms of size. Measuring just 26.5 millimeters in diameter, it was smaller than previous dollar coins, making it more portable, but also contributing to confusion with the quarter. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin had an initial mintage of over 500 million coins, making it a relatively common coin at the time. However, there are certain varieties within the 1979 mintage that are far more valuable to collectors. Among these, the large date variety stands out due to its unique design feature, which is the size and shape of the numbers on the coin. One of the most valuable versions of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is the one with a P mint mark and an error, specifically the P error mint mark. Coins with this error were mistakenly struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where the mint mark was intended to be missing entirely. These coins were sent out into circulation and have become one of the most sought after varieties in the series. A very fine condition example of this error coin can fetch a significant price, often commanding hundreds of dollars in today's auction market. The error coin is the key factor in making this coin particularly valuable. Normally, coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint do not have a mint mark, as Philadelphia was the primary mint for coins in the United States. However, in this case, the mint mistakenly placed a P mint mark on the coin, making it a very rare and highly prized error. The error coins are distinguished by the mint mark on the reverse side, next to the olive branch and arrows. The rarity of the 1979 San Francisco Mint and 1979 P error coins lies in the fact that only a small fraction of these coins were struck with the P mint mark. Collectors and numismatists highly value this error because it is a deviation from the expected coinage process, and collecting error coins is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. For those who have stumbled upon one of these rare coins, it's an exciting find that often results in a very valuable treasure. As for current values, depending on the condition and grading, the 1979 large date Susan B. Anthony $1 with the P mint mark error can be worth anywhere from $93,500 in very fine condition, with certain specimens even reaching higher values at auction due to collector demand. First up, we explore the value of the Jefferson nickel. 1942 is one of the most iconic and enduring coin designs in American history, and its story dates back to 1938, when it replaced the venerable Buffalo nickel. The coin was initially designed by artist Felix Schlag, with Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, depicted on the obverse. The reverse featured Jefferson's Monticello estate, a symbol of his legacy. However, when we look at the 1942 Jefferson nickel, it stands out for several important reasons. The U.S. Mint struck a wide variety of Jefferson nickels in 1942 due to the need for copper and nickel during World War I, and they introduced a significant change in the coin's composition. The transition to a silver alloy occurred in mid-1942, which led to the creation of two distinct types of nickels that year, the regular nickel and the silver wartime nickel. What makes the 1942 with the S mint mark special is that it was one of the rarest and most sought after varieties from that year. The 1942 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark is particularly notable for its high-quality minting and striking details. The obverse, featuring Jefferson's portrait, showcases a mature and noble figure. The reverse, depicting Monticello, is rendered with crisp detail. Coins minted in San Francisco S Mint, like this one, tend to have sharper features and finer detail than those from other mints, making them highly desirable for collectors. However, the color shade condition of this coin is what truly makes it stand out in today's market. Coins that are well preserved, with their original colors intact, are extremely rare. The patina that forms over decades of handling gives the coin a unique, almost art-like appearance, with a deep brown or rich gold hue that collectors prize. This particular color shade isn't just a visual trait, it's a product of how the coin was preserved, making it even more valuable. The mintage of the 1942 Jefferson nickel with S mint mark was relatively high for its era, but its value has risen dramatically over the years due to its unique combination of historical context, design, and condition. The rarity of coins in color shade condition, without heavy wear or damage, further elevates the coin's appeal in the auction market. While most coins from the 1942 series might sell for around $298,000 in average condition, a 1942 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark in color shade condition can command prices in the range of $300,000 in the auction market, depending on its condition and the bidding environment. Collectors show great interest in the 1942 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark for several reasons. First, its rarity makes it a sought-after addition to any collection, especially for those focused on mint varieties. Additionally, the presence of certain die errors from the minting process can further drive the value of a coin. A few known die cracks or repunched mint marks on these nickels have been discovered, adding another layer of intrigue to this piece. Collectors who focus on wartime nickels, particularly the silver alloy nickels, often turn to the 1942 series as a cornerstone of their collection. The S mint mark further increases demand, and coins in well-preserved color shade condition have a solid place in high-end collections. Next up, we explore the value of the United States Bicentennial Quarter. Issued in 1976, commemorates a momentous occasion in U.S. history, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It was a major event celebrated across the country and the U.S. Mint marked this occasion with a special series of coins that included the Bicentennial Quarter, half dollar, and dollar. The reverse of the quarter features a drummer boy, symbolizing the Revolutionary War, which played a pivotal role in America's fight for independence. This series was designed to pay homage to the past, while also looking forward to the nation's future. The Bicentennial Quarter is instantly recognizable because of its unique reverse design. On the reverse, you'll find a depiction of a colonial drummer boy standing ready to rally troops for battle. Above him, you see 1776, 1976 to mark the 200-year anniversary, and the words United States of America along with the phrase E pluribus unum. The obverse features a traditional portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan and first used on the 1932 Washington Quarter. The most important feature of this coin, however, is its error, an error that greatly enhances its value. Lamination error on obverse side. This particular Bicentennial Quarter features a lamination error on the obverse side of the coin. Lamination errors occur during the minting process when the layers of metal that make up the coin do not fully adhere to each other. In this case, a portion of the coin's surface peels away, resulting in a noticeable flaw in the finish of the coin. This creates a unique visual appearance, which makes the coin stand out from other typical examples of this series. The standard mintage of the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter, including all variations, was over 800 million coins, making it one of the most widely circulated U.S. coins in history. However, this coin's lamination error is rare and makes it a true collector's item. Error coins, particularly those with visible mistakes, are highly sought after in the numismatic market due to their rarity and unique nature. A 1976 Bicentennial Quarter in fine condition without errors typically sells for around $15,000. However, a coin with a lamination error can fetch a far higher price. Depending on the severity of the error, the value of a Bicentennial Drummer Boy Quarter with a lamination error can range from $600,000 in some cases, especially if the error is prominent and clearly visible. This price can fluctuate based on the coin's condition, with those in fine or higher grades commanding a premium. Collectors are particularly interested in error coins because they represent a mistake in the minting process, which makes them unique in the world of coinage. The error adds a layer of interest for those who are fascinated by the intricacies of coin production and the rarity of these mistakes. Collectors who specialize in U.S. mint errors have long been attracted to the Bicentennial Quarter series, and the lamination error in particular. These coins are not only valuable for their historical significance, but also for the rarity of the error itself. Lamination errors like this are difficult to find, and their value increases as time passes, especially when the coin is well preserved in fine or higher condition. Interest in bicentennial coins remains high, with many collectors wanting to own a piece of history, particularly one that is flawed in such a visually striking way. If you own a 1976 Bicentennial Drummer Boy quarter with a lamination error, you might want to get it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic service. Doing so can help establish its market value and make it easier to sell or trade within the collector's market. Next week, the 1959 Monticello Jefferson nickel marks a significant moment in U.S. coinage history. By this time, the nickel had gone through various design changes, and it would continue to evolve in the years to come. The 1959 coin is part of the regular series, which was struck at the U.S. Mint without major changes in its design since the mid-1930s. The 1959 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with a depiction of his estate, Monticello, on the reverse. What makes this particular nickel so special is not only its design, but the large date variety, which is easily recognizable by the slightly bigger digits in the date compared to earlier versions. The D-Mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, one of the primary locations for coin production in the U.S. The large date version is slightly rarer than the standard date, which adds to its value. The design of the 1959 Jefferson nickel is fairly simple, yet timeless. The large date on the obverse was a production variation, as the U.S. Mint sometimes experimented with different styles in their minting process. The reverse, showcasing Monticello, remains one of the most recognizable architectural symbols on U.S. currency. However, the black color shade in the dirty condition of this coin is what catches the eye of collectors. Often, dirty coins are looked down upon, but in this case, the black color shade adds a unique historical element. The wear and tarnish, combined with the dirt that has accumulated over decades, tell a story of a coin that has been well traveled and handled. Coins with this kind of character are often in high demand by collectors looking for rare, distinctive items for their collections. The 1959 Jefferson nickel with D-Mint mark is still fairly common in general circulation, but the large date variety, especially in dirty condition with black shading, is much rarer. In today's auction market, most 1959 Jefferson nickels in good condition are valued at around $39,200, but the rare large date version in dirty condition can fetch anywhere between $40,000, depending on its exact state. Though it may not seem like much in comparison to some of the rarest U.S. coins, this particular version of the nickel has seen a steady rise in value over the past few years. As more collectors focus on completing their collections with rare and unusual varieties, the 1959 Jefferson nickel continues to grow in value. Many collectors of Jefferson nickels are particularly drawn to mint errors, and the 1959 large date is no exception. Though errors on the 1959 coins are less common, those that do exist can often result in dramatic price increases at auction. In terms of collector interest, the dirty, black-shaded condition adds a layer of mystery and historical context to the coin. This makes it more appealing to collectors who appreciate coins with a history, not just pristine examples. Next up, the 1945 Jefferson nickel with the S Mint mark is another valuable coin from the World War II era. This coin, minted during a period when the USA was still deeply involved in the global conflict, offers a great example of how wartime coinage reflects both economic circumstances and artistic design. The 1945 Jefferson nickel came at the tail end of the war, and although the country was preparing for peace, the coin's composition still reflected the earlier wartime shortages. Nickel, which was traditionally used for producing these coins, was replaced in the production of some wartime coins by other metals to conserve resources. As a result, the 1945 Jefferson nickel is one of the last to feature the traditional nickel composition before the U.S. returned to standard copper, nickel alloys. The S-Mint mark on the 1945 Jefferson nickel signifies that it was minted at the San Francisco Mint, one of the more prominent mints in the U.S., and home to several important coin releases. The presence of the S-Mint mark is vital for collectors, as these coins tend to have lower mintage figures compared to their Philadelphia counterparts. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson in a slightly different style compared to other nickels in the series. On the reverse, we again see Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson, this time with its distinct architectural features. The large date of 1945 is another unique feature of this coin, as it makes the year stand out compared to other earlier mintings, where the date is often smaller and less noticeable. Color-shaded circulated condition refers to a coin that has been circulated with noticeable wear, but has also been exposed to elements that give it an unusual toning or color. Over time, coins take on hues that reflect their age and the environments they have been in. This particular 1945 Jefferson nickel is marked by the coloration it has gained during circulation, which adds to its unique appeal in the market. The 1945 Jefferson nickel is among those with relatively higher value compared to other nickels of the era due to its rarity and mint mark. Depending on its condition, a typical coin in this category may fetch anywhere from $266,000 in the auction market, with coins in better condition likely selling for even higher prices. Those with unique color shades or tonal features could be of even more interest to collectors. The primary appeal for collectors is the S-mint mark and the large date, but what sets this coin apart is the unique color shading, which could indicate exposure to environmental factors such as moisture or air, adding character and rarity. Collectors are often drawn to such coins because they are not just items of monetary value, but pieces of history that tell their own stories. Next up, we explore the value of the 1887 Morgan silver dollar is a piece of American history. Named after its designer George T. Morgan, this coin was first minted in 1878, and it quickly became one of the most iconic silver coins in U.S. history. Morgan dollars were produced in response to the growing demand for silver currency, particularly after the passage of the Bland Allison Act of 1878, which required the U.S. Treasury to purchase large amounts of silver. These coins were issued as part of the country's regular currency circulation until 1904, and then again in 1921. The 1887 issue in particular holds a unique place in numismatic history. The year 1887 marked a period of economic stability following the Panic of 1884, with the U.S. economy beginning to recover from the previous decades of financial uncertainty. During this time, coins like the Morgan dollar played a significant role in daily transactions, though by the late 1800s they were often used less frequently as paper currency became more widespread. The Morgan dollar features a portrait of Lady Liberty on the obverse, with her flowing hair wrapped in a ribbon inscribed with the word Liberty. Surrounding her are 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies, along with the year of minting. The reverse of the coin depicts an eagle with its wings spread wide, holding an olive branch in one talon and a bunch of arrows in the other. The eagle's banner reads a pluribus unum, and above the bird is the inscription United States of America. The reverse design is rich in symbolism, portraying both the strength and peace of the nation. The ES mint mark indicates that this particular coin was minted in San Francisco, one of the U.S. Mint's most important facilities. San Francisco mint marks are highly sought after by collectors, especially those in finer conditions like the one we're discussing today. In 1887, the total mintage of the Morgan dollar was 20,290,000 coins, with a significant portion struck in San Francisco. The S-mint mark coins from this year are considered quite rare, particularly in high grades. Due to their age, many of the Morgan dollars that survive today are in lower grades, which makes high-grade coins, like the fine-condition version we're focusing on, exceptionally valuable. The 1887 Morgan silver dollar with the S-mint mark is highly valued by collectors, especially when in fine condition. Depending on its grade, the value of this coin can vary widely. In fine condition, the coin may be valued at auction $386,000, however. Higher grade examples can command much higher prices, sometimes reaching over $400,000 at auction. The market for Morgan dollars has been robust for decades, with a growing demand for coins in better condition as collectors looked to complete their sets. The 1887 Morgan dollar is also famous for a few varieties and errors, such as the die clash variety. These errors occur when two dies collide and leave markings on the coin, creating a unique and highly prized variety. Collectors love these coins because they offer a glimpse into the minting process and represent an anomaly in the normally precise world of coin production. The 1887 S.E. Morgan dollar is a popular coin among collectors due to its aesthetic appeal, historical significance, and relatively low mintage compared to other years in the Morgan series. Next up, the 1949 Jefferson nickel is a crucial part of the series and falls within the years of consistent production post. Why? The U.S. was recovering from wartime constraints and coin production was slowly returning to normal as the country's economy stabilized. The Monticello series, launched in 1938, depicted Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with the Monticello building on the reverse, symbolizing the Founding Fathers' legacy. The 1949 issue came after the large changes in coin composition that took place during the war, so it marked a return to standard minting procedures, with copper and nickel being used again for the coins. The 1949 Jefferson nickel retained the familiar design that was introduced in 1938. With Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and the Monticello building on the reverse. The reverse design is highly significant as it represents the home of Jefferson in Virginia. What sets the 1949 Jefferson nickel apart from other years is the lack of a mint mark, making it notable and attractive to collectors who are focused on mint mark varieties. The total mintage of the 1949 Jefferson nickel reached over 50 million, a fairly substantial number. However, when considering the number of these coins that are still in circulation or have survived in good condition, the availability of high-quality 1949 Jefferson nickels in fine condition is much lower. This adds to the appeal and rarity of these coins, especially without the mint mark, which was commonly used for coins minted at the Philadelphia Mint. In today's market, a 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition can be worth anywhere between $30 and $100. Prices can vary depending on factors like coin toning, preservation, and the overall rarity of the individual coin within the collector community. The fine-grade coins are typically the ones that will fetch higher values because they are much less common compared to the average circulated coin. However, much like the 1944 nickel, the scarcity of these coins in fine condition has caused collectors to hunt for these specific examples. Coin auctions and dealer markets often report a demand for coins with certain historical features, like this 1949 Jefferson nickel. Error collectors are particularly fond of the 1949 Jefferson nickel because the absence of a mint mark is a unique feature. This could indicate a slight mistake during the minting process, or simply an anomaly that collectors are excited to find. Since the mint mark was often omitted from coins during this time, the 1949 coins without mint marks are seen as rare, and therefore they are highly coveted by error coin collectors. Moreover, collectors who focus on the Jefferson nickel series value this particular year because it fits into the post-war context and is seen as a representation of American coinage's return to normalcy after the disruptions of the war. Next up, we explore the value of the Sacagawea dollar, first issued in 2000. Was created as a way to replace the traditional paper dollar bill with a more durable, long-lasting coin. Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who helped guide the Lewis and Clark expedition, was chosen to appear on the coin as a symbol of the American spirit of exploration and determination. In 2009, a new series of Sacagawea dollars was introduced, featuring designs that honored Native American contributions to U.S. history. In 2010, the U.S. Mint released a special series of coins known as the Native American $1 coin series. The reverse design of the coin honored the Haudenosaunee, a group of Native American tribes known as the Iroquois Confederacy, and their great law of peace. This law was a constitution that guided their society for centuries and was central to their political and social systems. The coin's reverse design features a man and a woman holding a wampum belt, a traditional item symbolizing unity. The obverse of the 2010 Sacagawea dollar features the familiar portrait of Sacagawea, designed by Glenna Goodacre, On the reverse, you see the image of the wampum belt and the inscription Great Law of Peace, highlighting the importance of this historical document to Native American culture. The coin was struck in a golden-colored alloy, similar to the original Sacagawea dollar, and features the P mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. The fine condition of this coin means it has retained much of its original luster and detail, which is important for collectors who value well-preserved examples. The 2010 Sacagawea Native American dollar featuring the Haudenosaunee Great Law of Peace was minted in relatively large quantities, with over 40 million coins being produced. Despite the high mintage, this coin's unique design and connection to Native American history have made it a sought-after collector's item. The market value of this coin in fine condition typically ranges between $30,000 depending on its condition and rarity in circulation. However, coins that are well preserved and professionally graded can fetch higher prices. In some auction markets, the value can rise to over $74,000 if the coin is in excellent condition or if it has a particularly low mintage. The 2010 Sacagawea dollar has also been subject to a few error coins that have caught the attention of collectors. These include coins with incorrect mint marks, striking errors, or unusual flaws in the design. As with any coin, errors can significantly increase the value of the piece, especially if the mistake is unique or highly noticeable. Collectors of Native American coins, and particularly those interested in the Sacagawea dollar series, are keenly interested in pieces like this. The coin's historical significance, its connection to the Haudenosaunee people, and its place in the broader context of Native American heritage contribute to its lasting appeal in the collector's market. Next up, the 1944 Jefferson nickel is part of the ongoing series of nickels that have been issued since 1938. The 1944 coin, however, holds special significance for collectors due to the context in which it was produced. World War II. During this period, the U.S. government was facing severe metal shortages because of the war effort. This led to the use of different metals in the minting of coins. In particular, the minting of Jefferson nickels was altered due to the war. Most nickels from this period were made from a mixture of copper, manganese, and nickel instead of the usual copper and nickel mixture. The design of the 1944 Jefferson nickel features the well-known profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse displays Jefferson's portrait, while the reverse shows his home, Monticello, symbolizing Jefferson's contributions to the nation. The addition of "In God We Trust" became a more prominent feature in later years, though the 1944 series continued with designs that were already in place prior to the war. The mintage of the 1944 Jefferson nickel was considerable, with the total number of coins produced at just over 119 million. The large date version without the P mint mark is especially interesting because, typically, the coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint did not carry a mint mark until the 1980s. The large date variety is rare because of its slightly different die used during production, which was less common and typically considered an error variety, enhancing its value. The 1944 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition has gained notable attention in recent years for its rarity and its historical significance. At auction, these coins in very fine condition can command prices ranging from $29,500, depending on factors such as the precise level of detail remaining, toning, and other factors influencing the coin's grade. But what truly makes this coin incredibly valuable is the added collector interest in the mint mark error. The rarity of the 1944 without a mint mark in particular has spiked collector demand, driving its price up even further. The error variety of this coin, in which it lacks the mint mark, is particularly attractive to error, coin enthusiasts and collectors. The absence of the P mint mark, which would normally signify that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, makes it an anomaly. As collectors delve deeper into the error market, the demand for these coins has steadily increased. Collectors are particularly fond of this coin because it represents a moment in history when the production process was altered due to wartime demands. Collectors also look for the coin's overall condition, and those in very fine condition, showing wear but still retaining clear features, fetch top dollar. Those who are able to find this rare version in uncirculated or higher grades may even find themselves looking at coins worth hundreds of dollars at auction, especially if they can prove the coin's provenance and ensure that it is genuine. Next up, we explore the value of the Barber half-dollar, designed by Charles E. Barber, served as the official 50-cent coin of the United States from 1892 to 1915. The 1911 Barber half-dollar is a prime example of early 20th century American coinage, and one that collectors actively seek due to its limited mintage and unique design. The coin was struck in a time when the U.S. economy was evolving, following the Gilded Age and heading into the early stages of the Progressive Era. The coin itself carries the artistic legacy of Charles Barber, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. His designs are noted for their classic, if somewhat conservative approach, capturing the spirit of the era while adhering to the Mint's stringent guidelines. However, the Barber series also came under criticism for its generic portrayal of Lady Liberty. Despite this, the Barber half-dollar is one of the most recognizable and beloved coins of the early 1900s. The 1911 Barber half-dollar stands out as a key year for collectors, particularly because of its D Mint mark. The D Mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, a facility known for striking a smaller number of coins, compared to other mints like Philadelphia and San Francisco. The 1911 D Mint mark Barber half-dollar is especially sought after because of its scarcity in high-quality condition. The Barber half-dollar features a beautifully detailed obverse, with Lady Liberty facing left, wearing a Phrygian cap, adorned with a ribbon inscribed with the word Liberty. The reverse depicts a majestic eagle with a shield, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace, respectively. The legend United States of America circles the eagle with the denomination half-dollar beneath. In particular, the 1911 D. Barber half-dollar has a distinct charm in its design that captivates both novice and experienced collectors. The coin's color can vary depending on its condition, with some examples showing deep, rich tones of tarnish, which further increase the appeal for certain collectors. The presence of a color shade adds to its intrigue as it signals unique handling and preservation over time, making this coin especially appealing for those interested in coins with character. The 1911 D. Barber half-dollar has a mintage of just over 1 million coins, which, in comparison to other years of the Barber half-dollar series, is considered relatively low. Coins with lower mintage tend to be more valuable due to their rarity. However, it's important to note that the coin's value is heavily dependent on its condition. Coins in color shade condition may show signs of aging, toning, or tarnishing, which can be viewed as both a negative and positive, depending on the collector's perspective. Coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or mint state, can fetch prices in the thousands, with certain auction results showing figures as high as $500,000. While these prices are not common for every 1911 D coin, well-preserved examples with unique colorations or a pristine surface can draw substantial bids at auction, particularly from high-end collectors. One of the most significant factors contributing to the value of the 1911 D. Barber half-dollar is its association with a number of rare errors that have been discovered over the years. Some of these include repunched mint marks, where the D mint mark was incorrectly applied twice, and some instances of die cracks. These errors are often sought after by collectors who specialize in mint errors, making these coins highly collectible and further boosting their market value. Collectors are also drawn to the Barber half-dollar series due to its historical significance. As one of the last major coin designs before the introduction of the Standing Liberty and Franklin series, Barber coins offer a tangible link to America's late 19th and early 20th centuries. Furthermore, the 1911 D coin's association with the Denver Mint, along with its low mintage, makes it a highly coveted item for anyone interested in the history of American coinage. Next up, the 1941 Jefferson nickel, like the 1947 version, was part of a key period in U.S. history. The United States was still entrenched in World War II, and coinage production was affected by metal shortages. During the early years of YE, nickel was in high demand for the war effort, and the U.S. Mint had to adjust coin production accordingly. The 1941 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, with millions of coins minted that year. Its design was typical of the era, featuring the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson on the Auburson Monticello on the reverse. While this coin may not have been as rare at the time, today certain variations have become highly valued by collectors. The 1941 Jefferson nickel features the well-known design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with the inscription "In God We Trust" above and "Liberty" to the left. The reverse showcases Monticello, which continues to be one of the most iconic images on U.S. coinage. For collectors, the coin's condition is everything. While many 1941 Jefferson nickels are available in lower grades, the value increases significantly when the coin is in fine or very fine condition. The 1941 version, like others from this series, is typically found in circulated conditions, meaning it has been in regular use by the public. In the case of the coin you're asking about, this particular 1941 Jefferson nickel features circulated damage on the reverse side, which significantly impacts its value. Despite this, it is still a popular item in the market due to its historical significance and rarity in certain conditions. The 1941 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, had a substantial mintage. Over 120 million of these coins were produced, making them relatively common in lower grades. In circulated condition with damage to the reverse side, the value of this coin would be minimal compared to a well-preserved specimen. At auction, a 1941 Jefferson nickel with reverse damage can typically sell for between $10,000s of dollars, depending on the extent of the damage and the overall desirability in the collector market. The damage reduces the overall market price, but collectors still seek out coins from this era for their historical value. Collectors are particularly interested in the condition of the coin, especially if the damage is unique or adds to the coin's story. While this particular 1941 Jefferson nickel may not be considered rare due to its condition, there are always opportunities for collectors to find coins with interesting error types. A Jefferson nickel with an interesting reverse error or other minting abnormalities, like a double die or off-center strike, would likely attract higher interest at a higher price tag, even if it's in a lower grade. Despite its damage, this coin remains valuable in the sense that it represents a crucial year during the Second World War, and many collectors appreciate the historical connection. Next up, the 1943 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark is a unique coin that piques the interest of many collectors. Produced during World War I, this nickel features the famous design of Thomas Jefferson, and its place in history is firmly tied to the production of wartime coins. In 1943, the United States faced severe shortages of materials due to the ongoing global conflict. The government had to adjust coinage to support the war effort. This year's Jefferson nickel, however, was not just a standard release. It was minted during an era of extreme economic conditions. As a result, several changes in coin production were implemented to preserve critical metals. The 1943 Jefferson nickel was made with a higher percentage of silver due to the war's metal demands. While most of the 1943 Jefferson nickels were minted in Philadelphia with a P mint mark, the San Francisco Mint struck a smaller batch, marked with the S mint mark. The damage condition of this particular coin, which you may come across in auction markets, adds an extra layer of intrigue. The obverse of the 1943 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, who won a competition to design the coin. Jefferson is depicted in profile, facing left, a design that has become iconic. The reverse shows Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, symbolizing his connection to the founding of the United States. The S mint mark was stamped just below Monticello. When we talk about a damaged color condition coin, we're referring to a nickel that has been altered or worn due to heavy handling, corrosion, or environmental exposure. This particular 1943 nickel, despite its damage, holds a high value due to its unique characteristics. Damage can include discoloration, scratches, or dents, which only add to the coin's individual story. However, despite these conditions, the historical context of the coin elevates its worth in today's market. The 1943 S.A. Jefferson nickel in good condition typically sells for a moderate price, but a coin in damaged color condition may see significant value in the auction market, especially if it's rare. Depending on the degree of the damage and how collectors perceive its rarity, it could fetch anywhere from $400,000 in the auction market. Coins that exhibit unique environmental damage often attract collectors who are interested in coins with distinct histories. The key for this coin is not just its physical state, but its rarity and historical significance. This coin does not feature traditional mint errors, but the unique condition itself. Corrosion or wear over the years could be considered an anomaly of sorts. Collectors are often drawn to these coins for their unusual nature and the potential for uncovering unexpected historical significance. This is the perfect coin for enthusiasts who like to dig deeper into numismatic mysteries. Next up, we explore the value of the Kennedy half-dollar 1973. Without mint mark, the Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. Initially issued as a silver coin, the Kennedy half-dollar became a symbol of remembrance and national pride. The coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, who based the likeness of President Kennedy on a photograph taken by the photographer Yoichi Okamoto. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar falls into the category of circulated coins, which means these coins were used in everyday transactions. The large date variety of this year is particularly noteworthy, as it has a different date style than the previous years. The design was initially part of a series aimed at honoring the Kennedy legacy, but by the time 1973 rolled around, the minting of Kennedy half-dollars in silver had been phased out, with coins now made from a copper nickel-clad composition. This change in metal content marked an important period in the coin's history. The obverse of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar features a profile of President Kennedy, with the legend "Liberty above and in God we trust below." The reverse depicts the presidential seal, with the eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, just like the reverse of the Barber half-dollar. The large date feature of the 1973 coin is one of the distinguishing characteristics, as the numbers of the year are larger and more prominent than those seen in previous years. Despite being a more modern coin, the Kennedy half-dollar maintains the dignity and reverence associated with President Kennedy's legacy. Coins that exhibit noticeable signs of wear from circulation often have an interesting character, with some coins showing evidence of environmental exposure that may create toning or a darker patina. These features can increase the coin's appeal to collectors who are specifically interested in circulated coins, as they tell the story of how the coin was used and handled throughout the years. While the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in large numbers, over 45 million coins without a mint mark, often referred to as no mint mark pieces, are still of significant interest. The lack of a mint mark on the coin means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is the primary mint for producing coins without mint marks. In circulated condition, these coins typically hold a modest value, but they can still fetch a respectable price depending on their wear and toning. In general, a well-circulated 1973 Kennedy half-dollar might be worth $66,000, but examples that are in better than average condition or that show unique toning may fetch a higher price. Coins with historical significance, such as the 1973 series, can also increase in value over time as collectors begin to seek out these pieces for their historical importance. One of the key factors that can significantly raise the value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is the discovery of mint errors. For example, the coin might have been struck with a misalignment, a double die, or a weak stripe. Coins exhibiting these types of errors are much more valuable, and collectors specializing in mint errors will often seek out these specific varieties to add to their collections. Given the popularity of the Kennedy half-dollar and the ongoing interest in pieces linked to JFK, the 1973 coin remains a staple in American coin collections. As more people turn to coins with unique features or historical significance, this particular variety continues to hold value on the secondary market. Next up, the 1947 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in numismatic history as part of the Jefferson nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938. Designed by Felix Slag, this series replaced the older Buffalo nickel and has been a staple of U.S. coinage ever since. The 1947 Jefferson nickel came after World War I, a period when the U.S. economy was transitioning from wartime rationing to a more stable peacetime economy. The series itself features Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, on the obverse, and the home where Jefferson lived, Monticello, on the reverse. This design has remained mostly unchanged over the years, with some variations in mint marks and metals due to changes in the economy and wartime needs. By 1947, the United States had emerged from YE, and there was a demand for coinage to be returned to regular production. The mintage of the 1947 Jefferson nickel was robust, but certain conditions and errors have led to the coin being highly valued today, especially in rare grades like very fine. On the obverse, the 1947 Jefferson nickel showcases a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, with his characteristic dignified expression. The coin's reverse side features Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, a symbol of the country's early years. The most notable feature of the 1947 Jefferson nickel is the absence of a mint mark on the coin. For those unfamiliar with mint marks, these small letters, D small letters, D, S, etc., denote where the coin was minted. A coin without a mint mark is typically a product of the Philadelphia Mint, which in this case produced a significant number of the 1947 Jefferson nickels. The coin's composition is 75 copper and 25 nickel, which gives it a distinct color and shine. When looking at this coin, collectors focus on the sharpness of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello, especially in higher grades. The 1947 Jefferson nickel, like many coins from this era, was minted in large numbers, but it's important to understand that the value of this coin today depends heavily on its condition and the demand in the collector market. In 1947, the U.S. Mint produced a large quantity of Jefferson nickels, but as time goes on, coins in better condition are more valuable. The mintage of this coin was over 100 million, which makes it a relatively common coin in lower grades. However, when in very fine condition, the coin becomes quite desirable. As of today's market, the 1947 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition can fetch between $94,000 at auction, depending on the specific auction or marketplace. The price can increase further if the coin is exceptionally well preserved or has other unique characteristics. For collectors, error coins are often among the most desirable. The 1947 Jefferson nickel does not have as many notable errors as other coins, but there are always slight variations that can increase its value. Errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks can turn an otherwise standard coin into a highly coveted item. This coin has garnered interest due to its historical value, and collectors of Jefferson nickels often seek out specimens that represent various years of the series. The 1947, in particular, is appealing due to its vintage and relatively low mintage numbers in higher grades. Collectors of post-YE coinage value this coin for its representation of a country in transition and for the design work that still holds cultural and historical significance today. Next week, the 1969 Jefferson nickel, particularly the large date variety without a mint mark, stands as a rare and highly sought after coin in the world of numismatics. With a striking design and an intriguing history, this nickel has earned a reputation for its scarcity and value, especially in very fine condition. Let's take a deeper look into its background, design features, and why it commands such high prices in today's auction market. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, was designed by Felix Schlag and initially featured the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, a lasting tribute to one of America's founding fathers. However, by 1969, this coin had been in circulation for over 3 decades, and while many might assume that all Jefferson nickels are relatively common, some specific years have proven to be incredibly rare and valuable, one more so than the 1969 large date variety. The 1969 large date Jefferson nickel was part of a series of nickels minted in the late 1960s, a decade marked by economic turmoil in the U.S. Mint's effort to adjust its coinage to the growing demands of the nation. The large date on the 1969 coin was a result of changes in the minting process, and it immediately became apparent that the larger digits stood out more clearly than the previous year's coins. On the obverse of the 1969 Jefferson nickel, you'll see the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, facing to the left. This was a notable departure from the earlier Liberty head designs that had graced U.S. coins. Jefferson's profile is accompanied by the words "In God We Trust" and the mint year of 1969. The word liberty and the phrase "e pluribus unum," out of many, one appear on the coin, maintaining the tradition of representing the nation's ideals. On the reverse side of the coin is a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's beloved plantation home in Virginia, which was chosen as the symbol to represent Jefferson's legacy. The words Monticello appear above the building, with 5 cents and United States of America along the bottom. The most important distinguishing feature of the 1969 coin is the size of the digits in the date. The large date variety features numerals that are noticeably larger and more pronounced than those of previous years. In addition, these coins were struck at multiple mints, and the absence of a mint mark on this particular version is one of the factors that adds to its rarity. The 1969 Jefferson nickel has a total mintage of around 485 million coins, which sounds like a large number but isn't necessarily reflective of the coin's value in the market today. This is because the 1969 large date variety, specifically those without a mint mark, stands out as a rare variation that's far more difficult to find in good condition. While the 1969 nickel is still somewhat common in circulation, finding one in very fine or better condition, especially without a mint mark, is quite challenging. Coins that are well preserved, particularly those with a sharp date and clean details on Monticello, are highly prized by collectors. In today's auction market, the value of a 1969 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition can range anywhere from $26,000 depending on its specific grade and appeal. Coins in higher grade conditions can command prices that exceed $200 or more, especially if they are graded by reputable grading agencies like the NGC or PGs. For example, a 1969 large date Jefferson nickel in Messrs 65 mint state or higher can fetch anywhere from $27,000, however. It's important to note that the real value of the coin is often determined by factors such as the coin's exact condition, the clarity of the date, and how well the design elements have been preserved. The 1969 large date Jefferson nickel without a mint mark holds special interest for collectors not just because of its rarity, but because it is often linked to a historical minting error. In the case of this coin, some of the 1969 nickels were struck with improperly aligned dies, which can cause slight variations in the coin's design. These errors are always highly desirable because they are even more difficult to find and can significantly increase a coin's value. Another reason for the increased collector interest in this coin is its connection to the broader movement of nickel collectors in the U.S. Numismatics enthusiasts love collecting nickels from different years and mint varieties, and coins like the 1969 large date are considered key pieces in many collector's sets. This is one of the reasons why this coin, even in its relatively everyday condition, still manages to sell for such high prices at auction, especially if it's in a rare or error. Crone's state of thanks for joining us. Happy collecting.